Hello guys, the age of the Earth we are standing on has reached 4,543 billion years. The only planet where we can live has provided many benefits for all of us, and currently the human population is increasing, and the Earth is also becoming increasingly old and natural resources are increasingly limited, whether one day this planet will be destroyed. What are the signs that indicate our Earth is old or about to end? In this video we will see together, what is the current condition of our Earth and the impact that can be felt by all creatures living on Earth. Stay tuned. The sea ice is melting, one of the biggest signs. It can be seen that our Earth is old, namely the sea ice at the poles, which is now melting more and more. This phenomenon is caused by the effects of global warming, where the Earth's temperature continues to increase due to greenhouse gas emissions. Glass. Over the last 3 years, the giant chunks of ice in the sea around Antarctica have melted 2 million square kilometers. This figure passes a critical threshold in 2022, which has never happened since satellite measurements in 1979. Scientists say that this lowest point indicates further evidence of the consequences of global warming, which occurs due to uncontrolled greenhouse gas emissions whose impacts are fatal to the oceans. Ice at the Earth's poles, even sea ice at the poles has, experiencing a crisis transition. The International Cryosphere Climate Initiative, or ICCI, says that the global average temperature will rise by 2 degrees Celsius compared to the pre-industrial era, and our Earth will experience a sea level rise of more than 1.2 meters. Wow, that's really scary, guys. ICCI also says that the increased Earth's temperature will also further exacerbate the melting of ice sheets throughout the world, becoming worse than what was predicted several years ago. Many scientists who research this phenomenon estimate that sea levels on Earth will also rise by around 0.28 to 1 meter per year, and sea ice in the North Pole is predicted to completely disappear by 2040. The proof is that Swiss Glacier has lost around 10% of its mass. In recent years, Himalayan glaciers are melting faster and losing 75% of their volume by the end of the century due to global warming. The Greenland region is experiencing the second highest melting of ice in history. There are some viruses that are trapped in Antarctic ice and are still living in it, as the ice in the North Pole continues to melt. There is a possibility that these viruses will soon spread throughout the world. Until now, experts still researching the level of danger of ancient viruses this and what can be done to counteract it. Melting icebergs causing islands to sink. Apart from the sea ice at the poles, icebergs in various parts of the world are also melting rapidly, the same such as sea ice at the poles. The main cause of this phenomenon, due to global warming, the melting of icebergs makes small islands sink. Icebergs are made from frozen fresh water, and when melting, fresh water flows into the sea and can increase the volume of sea water. As a result of global warming, it has been proven that there are ALS glaciers in the Alps which have been shrinking in the last few decades, and it is predicted that these glaciers will disappear by 2050. In fact, by the end of this century it is estimated that almost all glaciers in the Alps will disappear. When these icebergs melt, the ice load is lost and causes the Earth's crust to disintegrate. The bottom can rise again. This is what causes the shift and movement of the Earth's tectonic plates, which can trigger earthquakes. Apart from that, the melting of ice in the North Pole will also contribute to the mass of sea water in this way, especially in Indonesia. some of the archipelagic countries which are surrounded by lots of water, the sea level will rise, causing flooding and coastal erosion, and if all the polar ice melts, Indonesia's coastline will decrease significantly and turn into an ocean. Will Indonesia sink in the future? Will land areas on Earth be replaced by oceans? Scientists even estimate that if all the glaciers and ice sheets on Earth melt, it could cause sea levels to rise as high as 70 meters, small islands will sink, then various habitats and species of flora and fauna will be lost, and even island residents will have to be moved from the sinking island. Aphelion phenomenon. Have you been living in Indonesia lately feeling that the weather is getting colder? This happens because of a phenomenon called aphelion. It may sound strange, the aphelion phenomenon is nothing new. This phenomenon occurs once a year throughout the world. Aphelion is a point where the Earth is farthest from the Sun. Many say that this aphelion is related to extreme weather. Like when winter gets colder, when summer gets hotter, then is that really true? Well, apparently scientists say the relationship between aphelion and extreme weather is still not scientifically proven. Research shows that the influence of aphelion on weather on Earth is very small. Only around 0.5 degrees Celsius, the distance between the Earth and the Sun does not really affect the temperature on Earth. So the Earth's temperature is more influenced by the tilt of the Earth's axis, which causes winter or summer and other seasons, and the aphelion period is only short and temporary. Even though the Earth's position is at its furthest point, the effect won't last long, so it's not enough time to influence significant weather changes. Tuvalu Island. One of the islands that is threatened with sinking is the island of Tuvalu, a ring-shaped archipelago that surrounds a lagoon or atoll in the South Pacific region. This island is predicted to be the first country that will sink completely in the next 50 to 100 years, if you look at it. The geographical condition of Tuvalu Island is very vulnerable to climate change, especially rising sea levels. This country, which consists of 9 coral atolls and the lowland islands of Tuvalu, is facing a double threat, firstly due to the effects of global warming and melting of the polar ice caps, secondly by the melting of glaciers. Giant, this small island of Tuvalu is also increasingly hit by extreme weather, such as cyclones and storm surges. Predictions of Tuvalu sinking is a symbol of the existential threat that small island nations around the world will face. Natural phenomena such as aphelion, sea ice, or melting icebergs and sinking small islands do indeed occur, but the phenomena we experience do not always mean the world will end. Scientists say that we experience phenomena like this when this is the impact of climate change caused by human activities like ours. So the apocalypse is not determined by natural phenomena, but by how humans or we treat this planet. So what can we do? We still have time to change the fate of our Earth. We can reduce greenhouse gas emissions by switching to renewable energy using public transportation or environmentally friendly and energy-saving vehicles. We can also plant trees, not burn forests, reduce the use of plastic. Okay, that's all in this video. Thank you for watching this video.